All right, so get ready because we're diving into some serious data analysis today.
Yeah.
We're talking Microsoft Excel and specifically a brand new function called MTCHDHB.
Okay.
And, we've been looking into this. And it seems like MTCHBY, it's not just another formula. It's kind of like a game changer, right?
It is.
For people who work with data a lot.
Big time.
So
DAX.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what DAX is for those who don't know, and then we can jump into how MATCHBY fits into that.
Okay, so DAX stands for Data Analysis Expressions, and they're basically formulas or functions that you use in Microsoft Excel, particularly in things like Power Pivot and Power BI, to really analyze your data in a very powerful way.
So you can pull data from different sources and kind of analyze it.
Exactly. You can pull data from multiple sources, connect them in a data model, and then DAX allows you to do calculations across all these different tables and get really amazing insights.
So there's not just like a simple SUM function or something like that. No. This goes way beyond your basic Excel formulas. This is like
next level
stuff. Yeah.
So where does MATCHBY fit into all of this?
So before MATCHBY came along, DAX users often found themselves kind of hitting a wall when they were trying to do complex calculations. Especially when they were trying to work across these related data sets. Imagine you're trying to analyze website traffic, for example. So you've got data for each page visit, but you want to understand how a user behaves over an entire session. That kind of analysis used to require some really serious workarounds.
Okay, so you're saying even with DAX, which is supposed to be this, really powerful analysis tool, there were still some limitations.
There were definitely limitations.
With certain kinds of calculations.
Exactly. DAX was really good for calculations within a single table. But things got tricky when you needed to connect the dots across these different tables in your data model. And MATCHBY comes in and really changes all of that. Okay, so how does it change it? How does it work? It's magic.
All right, so you mentioned window functions earlier.
I did.
So think of a window function as a way to create a really focused view of your data. Almost like zooming in on a specific time period or a category.
Gotcha.
And what MATCHBY does is it helps you define the boundaries of that window with incredible precision.
So using that website example.
Exactly.
You could define a window for each user session, right?
You got it.
For example.
Yes. With MATCHBY, you can say, okay, I want to look at all the page visits that happen within this particular session. And then you can calculate things like the average time spent per session, the number of pages visited. All sorts of really interesting metrics.
Okay, that's starting to click for me.
Good.
But I'm still kind of wrapping my head around how we actually tell MATCHBY which window to focus on. So it's all about the syntax, right?
It is. It's all about the syntax.
So how do we do that?
So the syntax for MATCHBY is pretty straightforward. You basically feed it the names of the columns that hold the key to defining your window. So you say, okay, MATCHBY, look at this column, look at that column, and use those values to figure out where the boundaries of my window are.
And these columns, these could be in different tables, I assume.
That's the cool thing. They don't even have to be in the same table that you're working with. You can use another function called related to pull in columns from other related tables.
So in our website example, we could have the user ID in one table. And then all the page visits in another table.
Exactly.
And we could use MATCHBY and related
you got it.
to kind of link those two together.
I should link them together and say, okay, define my session window based on the user IDs that are stored in that separate table.
But hold on, that part about related almost slipped by me. So we can use MATCHBY to create these windows. And then we can use related to define those windows. Based on information that lives in a completely different table.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
It is. It unlocks a whole new level of flexibility.
Wow.
And here's another thing that makes MATCHBY really interesting. It doesn't actually give you a direct value.
What does that mean?
So it doesn't give you a number or a text string like some other functions would. Instead, it kind of sets the stage for other DAX functions to work their magic within that precisely defined window.
So it's kind of like a helper function almost.
You could think of it that way. Yeah, it's got a helper function. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to set up this window, and then you other DAX functions come in and do your thing within this window.
But if it's not giving us a direct value, what's the point? Like, what does this all mean for someone who's actually using Excel to analyze their data?
That's a great question. It means you can perform calculations that were previously impossible or extremely difficult.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's say you're analyzing sales data.
Okay.
And you have a table with transaction details and another table with customer demographics.
Yeah.
You could use MATCHBY and related to calculate the average purchase amount for each customer segment within specific timeframes.
Okay.
All in a single formula.
Wow. So it's like really targeted analysis?
Exactly. It's super target. It's like laser-focused analysis.
So before you'd have to do all these different steps.
You'd have to do multiple steps, filter your data manually. It was a pain.
Yeah.
But now with MATCHBY, you can just do it all in one go.
So for anyone out there who's dealing with large data sets,
yes,
especially if those data sets are connected in some way,
right,
this sounds like MATCHBY could be really helpful.
It's a game changer. It's all about having that fine-grained control over your data and unlocking those insights that were previously hidden.
So we've talked about the technical side of MATCHBY, but I think what's even more exciting is how it's changing the way people think about data analysis.
Absolutely. It's encouraging data analysts to really think outside the box, to be more creative about their data relationships and the kinds of questions they can answer.
It's not just about the numbers anymore. It's about the stories those numbers tell.
Exactly. It's about finding those hidden patterns and trends and using them to make better decisions.
So if you're listening to this and you're excited about the possibilities of MATCHBY, where should you go to learn more?
There are tons of resources available online. Microsoft has some great documentation on their website.
Okay.
There are also a lot of really helpful blog posts and videos from experts in the data analysis community.
And of course, you can always experiment with it yourself in Excel.
Absolutely. The best way to learn is to just dive in and start playing around with it.
So to wrap things up, this sounds like MATCHBY is a powerful new tool.
It is.
For data analysis in Excel. It gives you this incredible level of control over your data.
Yes.
And it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for insights and decision making.
I completely agree.
And who knows, maybe in the future we'll even have a deep dive on some of those other amazing DAX functions.
That would be fun.
But until then, keep exploring MATCHBY and see what amazing insights you can uncover.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And happy analyzing.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.